Today we shall be discussing the temptation of Karna, a particular section described in your syllabus. This section is taken from the Mahabharata. And you know the Mahabharata is an ancient Indian epic where the main story revolves around two branches of a family, the Pandavas and the Kauravas, who in the battle of Kurukshetra fought against each other for the throne of Hastinapur. Around this great event, we also come across thousands of narratives interwoven in this great epic poem. According to tradition, Daipan Bas dictated the words of this great epic and Ganesha wrote them down. And imagine, it has got 10,000s of thousands of verses. And it is the longest epic poem ever written. And it is generally thought to have been composed in the 4th century BC or earlier. The events in the epic play out in the Indian subcontinent and surrounding areas. The Mahabharata then is characterized as a work of art that would sustain socio-cultural heritage and traditions of learning. It is often called Itihasa, which is endless as the Vedas. While being both perspective and descriptive, it presents the past, present, and future all together. It engages with the issues of culture, history, philosophy, cosmology, and portrays a vast cross-section of Indian society and polity on a large scale. Now, the particular segment under our discussion, the temptation of Karna, is taken from the Uddog Parva. The very word Uddog is indicative of the fact that the Battle of Kurukshetra is about to start. All peace missions have been failed. Krishna himself went on a peace mission. Duryodhana refused to give away as much land as was covered by the point of a needle, let alone the 5 villages proposed by the peace missions. Now, before the war bugle was sounded, Krishna went to meet Karna and to persuade him to come to the fold of the Pandavas. Now, you know, Karna plays a central role in the epic poem, the Mahabharata. He is the son of Kunti, the mother of the Pandavas, and the sun god, Surya. The Kunti, at a young age, received a boon from the mysterious and cantankerous sage Durvasa as a reward for taking good care of him. And this boon would enable her to invoke a deity of her choice and have a son with him. Now, out of curiosity, Kunti wanted to taste the boon and conjured the sun god with whom she had her first son, Karna. Kunti, however, was a maiden at the time, and you had to maintain her social dignity. She had to abandon Karna Now, the name Karna is a Sanskrit word meaning the ear. It is said that Karna was born out of Kunti's ear. He was born adorned with splendid earrings and a majestic armor, which signifies power. Therefore, his protection and are symbolic of his immortality. His demeanor at the time of his birth is said to be glorious and divine. After he was abandoned by Kunti in the Ganges river, he was found by a charioteer named Adhiratha, who took the baby to his wife, Radha, who nurtured him as her son and named him Bashusena. Now, in the course of time, Karna grows up to be a successful warrior. He possesses a gift of gab and is a loyal friend to Duryodhana. Karna's mastery in marital abilities was known to be to Duryodhana, and he knew that only Karna can match the skill and prowess of Arjuna. But since Karna is from a lower caste, it was against the codes, the royal codes, to challenge a Kshatriya. Duryodhana thus appoints Karna as a king of Anga so that he can go against Arjuna and prove his valor. Karna is truthful to his words and generous in his actions. Despite being forewarned by his father Surya, Karna sacrifices his earrings and breastplate to Indra, who came to him disguised as a Brahmin. Thus, Karna was no longer invincible, yet his action was of heroic disposition. He is an upholder of integrity, principles, moral, and ethical virtues. Until Book 5 of the Mahabharata, Karna is oblivious about his Kshatriya birth. In Book 5, Krishna and Kunti try to persuade Karna to join the Pandavas in the war of Kurukshetra. Krishna visits him first and tempts him by offering several benefits which he could gain by joining the Pandavas, to which Karna refuses, for he has different perspective on this issue. He follows his dharma by being loyal to his friend Duryodhana, who gave him protection and position when he was being insulted by the Pandavas. When Kunti confesses to Karna that she is his mother, and the sun god Surya confirms the words of Kunti, he tells her about the hardships and struggles he faced to reach the present state. He understands that she has come because of her love for the Pandavas. So, out of respect, he makes a promise to spare all her sons except Arjuna. In the event of the death of either him or Arjuna, the number of her sons will remain 5. Thus, despite being faced with such difficult choice, Karna never falters. The temptation of power and piles of gold, of monarchy, of pleasure didn't distract Karna from his duties. and moral obligation. He showed extraordinary confidence in his decision to be faithful towards his friend Duryodhana, who supported him in his struggles. This particular segment, the temptation of Karna, deals with the attempt of Krishna and Kunti to convince Karna not to participate in the battle. Karna finds out that Kunti is his biological mother. Krishna is an envoy of peace and aims to prevent the war. He warns Karna that the defeat of the Kauravas is predestined and the destruction of the world after the battle is inevitable. Krishna advises Karna to join the Pandavas so that they can unite together, since they are brothers to each other. And Krishna wishes to offer him kingship, since he is the eldest son of Pandu, and thereby he has the rightful heir. He is the rightful choice to becoming the king. The confession of Kunti reveals the truth about the birth of Karna. She attempts to persuade Karna to forsake Duryodhana and unite with the Pandavas. However, Karna is not tempted by the offer of obtaining a royal status and series of material pleasures that will be granted to him on joining the lineage of the Pandavas. He refuses to betray his well wishes and vows to honor his commitment towards his friend Duryodhana and his foster parents Adhiratha and Radha.